My name is Jessica Joshi, and for those of you who have never met Amelia Kreher, let me be the first to tell you that she is a force. In class, she is witty and brilliant, constantly curious about the world around her. In conversations, Amelia doesn't shy away from the hard conversations. She is bold and unafraid to challenge the things that we blindly accept. Fierce in intellect and so welcoming to others, Amelia is a creative writer, a Shakespeare reader, an activist, and a dedicated MOSA employee. She is also an advocate for creating brave spaces for members of the LGBTQ community in the Memphis area. In height, Amelia may be a few inches shorter than I am, but I can confidently say that she is someone that I have truly looked up to during our time together. It is a real privilege to be able to hear her speak today, so without further delay, I give you Amelia Kreher.
In Why We Tell Stories, Liesl Mueller says each of us tells the same story, but tells it differently, and none of us tells it the same way twice. However, she glosses over listening to stories with a simple, "We listen only haphazardly with one ear." Although this was not the purpose of her poem, I feel she missed an important aspect of stories without which society would not be able to function. By listening to stories, I learn empathy. If Mueller is correct and we listen only haphazardly with one ear, then we live in a society consisting only of self-obsessed achievers, unable to care about the struggles of others. I refuse to accept this as truth, but in order to prove Mueller wrong, we must all learn empathy. 3 books have taught me empathy: The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and Letters from an Astrophysicist by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Each of these depicts a first-person account of recent history, from the Vietnam War to the destruction in Afghanistan. One chapter of Tyson's book includes letters describing his firsthand experience of living 4 blocks from the World Trade Centers on 9/11. This occurred just over 20 years ago. Anyone over 25 likely remembers where they were the moment they heard about the tragedy. Yet until reading Tyson's book, I had never understood why that day was so monumental. I had seen countless images and videos of the destruction, but I wasn't able to have true empathy until I heard Tyson tell his own story. If I didn't listen to Tyson, I would only sympathize with people who speak of their experience, knowing they come from a place of pain. In history class, I learned what happened in the past, but I don't feel what it was like to live through it. I don't learn empathy from context, but from listening to stories both grand and small. I listen to renowned writers like Tyson, Hosseini, and O'Brien, but I also listen to my peers. After ALAP every Wednesday, I sit on the floor in Miss Ray's room and listen to my classmates. Just last Wednesday, I heard my classmates tell stories about their relationships with their friends and family, with themselves, and with the universe. I heard stories from people I've known for 11 years and never truly listened to. My listening increased my empathy for those people, and through listening to the senior speeches of the entire class of 2021, I have grown in my empathy for all of you. Although empathy for strangers and people I meet in passing is important, empathy for those around me is even more so. And it's saddening that I'm only growing in my empathy when we're all about to leave. But I'm only 17. I have a lot of growing left to do, and I am in no way nearing the end of my journey to empathy. Practicing empathy is a sign of maturity, but there are many adults who never learn it. There are successful adults who live their lives never listening to anybody else's stories. The journey to empathy is one that never ends, but the sooner I start walking it, the easier it will become. Now, I am starting to learn empathy as I sit on the floor listening to the stories of the classmates who have been at my side for 11 years. Now, I am starting to learn empathy as I stay at home listening to stories of overworked frontline workers and unlucky individuals who don't get to be by their loved ones' sides in their final moments. Now I am learning empathy, and in the future I will continue learning empathy. 10 years from now, when the class of 2021 reunites here at St. Mary's, I hope to be a more empathetic person. I hope to listen to all of your incredible stories and love who you have grown to be in the time we are apart. In 10 years, I look forward to seeing how we all grow in our empathy. Thank you.